Are you interested in backpacking the Fires Creek Rim Trail, a nearly 25-mile loop in the Nantahala National Forest in the rugged North Carolina mountains? Do you want to experience the beautiful scenery and amazing vistas on this trail? But you're somewhat worried about the challenging steep climbs and the well over 6,000 feet elevation gain. After reading some of the reviews on all trails, did you become a little bit worried about where to find water, or even a decent place to camp, or the possibility of getting lost? Then please join me as I embark on a 3-night journey, and we will discover some of the hidden secrets of this extremely difficult but amazing trail. We're almost to the picnic area. There's going to be a ladybug in my shot. Whoa. Watch the potholes coming off the bridge. This is where the Fires Creek Rim Trail starts. And we're off. This is where the trail starts. Take a left here. Got me huffing and puffing already. We just put this bridge in last year. Take a right. As you probably guessed, this video is going to be a little bit different than all my other videos. It's going to be more like a serious tutorial on how to backpack the Rim Trail. It's an extremely rugged, brutal trail. It's hard to find water. A lot of people struggle to find a good place to camp. Whoa. I'm gonna go over whether you're a hammock camper like me or a tent camper. Well, there's not gonna be any crazy exotic wild ducks in this video. At least, I don't think so. It's going to be more about the best times to hike it. Like spring is the best time. Please, please don't try to hike it in the middle of summer or early fall when it's hot and dry. The weeds are literally as high as your head. I don't do any trail maintenance in the summer. I don't even hike this trail in the summer. It's just too awful. You end up having to carry over a gallon of water probably. What's a gallon of water? 8 pounds or something. So yeah. Anywhere from like February all the way to maybe early May. It's a good time. And then maybe December too. November and December would be a good time. It's been extra dry. It's actually been dry for like a year and a half now. I mean, there's been some rain, but it just hasn't been like normal, so. A lot of the streams I'm going to show you is, if they're still running, that's pretty good. They are seasonal, some of them. We're going to discover the hidden secrets of the Rim Trail. This is Leatherwood Road. So it's always gated off. Here we go. This is where we dump out into the wilderness. After a series of switchbacks, we come to our first awesome view. There was a terrible windstorm last week, so I expect to find extra blowdowns. And after that short reprieve, just when you thought it couldn't get any steeper, well, it does. It surely does. And I'm not talking about like this. I'm talking about this. And then finally, when you reach these boulders, you know you're just about at the end. I mean, the end for now. There's going to be plenty more of that today. Let's see if there's a view. Part of that is fog, and the other part is forest fires. That's how dry the spring has been. And if that climb wore you out, there's a nice little place to camp up here. About 1.25 miles from that first road we crossed, Leatherwood Road. And there should be a stream here too. I see places for a hammock and several tents. And the stream's right here, I can hear it. Normally this time of year it's just rushing right along. At least it's not dry. I have seen it go dry like in October or so. So we'll classify that one as seasonal for sure. Right here, you see those two blue blazes? One straight ahead and one a little bit to the left. The trail turns and goes up that way. Well, down here, you see that holly tree? There's a place to camp down there, and there's water down there. So I'll show you. Right here's a nice area for a tent. There's a tree for a hammock or There's several options. So take note of this big tree with a root ball. Over here to the left and down over is a little spring. Just go down about 10 yards and another hidden secret of the Fires Creek Rim Trail. So this would be a nice option if you were to get in late, like you'd have to drive a long ways to get to the picnic area. Okay, where am I? Ah, yes. A massive swinging Tarzan vine is another good thing to look for, because that's where the trail is. I just discovered that I was talking away, and I didn't realize this, but my front camera does slow-mo. I did slow-mo on that Tarzan tree. Oh, it's a good thing I checked that. Anyway, what I was saying in slow motion was another option for those of you that have a long way to go and you're tired from your long drive. You can camp at the Bristol Fields Horse Camp. It's about 3 miles from the picnic area. It's just a straight shot on up Forest Service 340. And they call it a horse camp, but anybody can camp there. Oh, and there is one other camping ground. They all have pit toilets, by the way. No water, except for the creeks. There's one just before you get to the picnic area, and it's on the left. But there have been some homeless people camping there, living there, so just be aware of that. I gotta save my breath for this hill. At about 2 3/4 miles from the picnic area trailhead, you come to this Y in this old road. Make sure you take the left. Right up here, not too far, is a spring, and it's fairly reliable. I've never seen it go dry. I have seen it slow down quite a bit though. So we'll check it out. Right here at this tree with a marker. Go down here to the left, and that's the easiest way to get to the spring. This is really pretty slow. I've never seen it go dry. However, take that with a grain of salt because, like I say, I don't come up here during the dry season. If you look on one of these trees right above the spring, never mind, it's gone. Oh, here it is. That's supposed to be a W for water, an arrow pointing. Let's see. Here. Some of the more reliable spots have been marked. Keep an eye out for these signs, except that one you never would have seen. So this is the top of Peachtree Bald. There's a fire ring up here. I don't really see a place for a tent. I do see a place for a hammock. You know, animals use this trail. I would not want to be hanging in my hammock right on the trail and a bear come by. You could put a tent right there maybe. No, don't recommend it though. This is the trail about 1/4 mile from Peachtree Bald. And right here to the left, it's a nice little spot to camp. It looks like a couple tent sites and maybe a couple hammock options here. And now we come to the intersection of the Phillips Ridge Trail. Right here on the right. And There's a hidden campsite down here. Also, hopefully there's water because I need some. The spring is right below this log down in that ravine. It's pretty darn steep. There's more water the further down you go. I should have brought something to dip it with. Now we just gotta climb back to the top. To get to the hidden campsite, you just follow Phillips Ridge Trail. And it's about 0.15 miles, according to my watch. Looks like there's a spot right here for a hammock. There is a big dead tree right there, leaning that way. Over here might be a safe spot for a tent. That's a pretty big tree. So we're back to the spot right above the spring. And I went up this way, and if you are a tent camper that doesn't want to get squished by giant dead oak trees, you go up there a little ways, there's a nice spot to put a tent. It's flat because it was an old road. So probably about 200 yards past the Phillips Ridge Trail. Don't miss this sharp turn to the left. Always keep an eye out for double blazes. That means you have to turn. However, if you didn't turn, there is a really nice spot for a tent right here. There's another campsite up here. It's over here to the left, but this tree's dead, so let's see. There's a little fire ring here. You might put a small tent right here. A few hammock options there, I think. On the other side of that dead tree, right near the trail, right here, you could put a small tent. It's pretty level. And the trees lean in the other way, so I think you'll be all right. There's a view from the south. I wish it was a better view, but it's so smoky. It's Lake Chatoog. After we round this turn here, it's a nice little campsite in this rhododendron thicket. I don't really see a very good hammock spot here, but perfect for a tent. This tree's dead, but keep that in mind. I'm going to try to talk and walk uphill at the same time. Because a couple years ago I found some clothes and an overnight bag and different belongings scattered on the trail right around here. It's kind of spooky. It kind of looks like there had been a murder. And in the bag, it was not a dry bag. It was like a heavy canvas bag. And inside he had a full bottle of shave cream, not the travel size, and a big heavy lantern, like, you know those lanterns that have the big square battery with the little springs on top? A 10-pound light, like a bath towel, and just really heavy stuff. I got to thinking, it probably wasn't a murder. He probably died of natural causes, brought on by taking too much gear. So it really underscores the importance of don't take anything you don't absolutely have to have. Try to go as ultralight as possible. This trail is just, it's tough, tough, tough. Brutal, man. Oh my goodness. So right here we come to Rock House Creek. And then Big Stamp is up that way. There used to be a fire tower up there, and there's even an old bunker they made for when it stormed real bad, they could get out of the storms. And there's a tent spot and a place for a hammock. Could get pretty windy up there though. The rim trail keeps going this way. And it comes to this road, and right here is a place to camp. However, when that the gate's closed right now, but when that gate's open, you don't know who's gonna come driving up here. Could be some locals with some twisted tea and hound dogs and shooting shotguns and who knows what all, so you don't want that. No, no, no. There's a better way. But make sure you turn to the left instead of going down that road. Because the rim trail goes off this way. This sign, sometimes it falls down. It's not in the ground at all. But I'm going to go show you that a place to camp and a place to get water. What'd I tell you? I'll show you how far the water is down. This is Rock House Creek Trail. Okay, I've just gone a short ways, hiking for a couple minutes. And if you're fortunate, if it's been like in the spring, not a dry spring like this time around, you might be able to find water right here. Always bring something to dip with when you're out here. Okay, I'll show you the other spot for water. I'm gonna keep on going down. I think it's kind of the headwaters of Rock House Creek. And I've never seen Rock House Creek run dry. However, you may not get water this high up. You may have to go down even further, but under normal conditions, you should be able to get some water right here. And that's 0.26 miles from the trailhead. So right here, probably about 200 yards from the trailhead, there's a nice place you might want to camp. Right here, you could put a tent. An even nicer spot is back in here. So right here maybe. And then you go under, or let's go around. So this tree and this one. Anyway, you could figure out something for a hammock for sure. Roughly 1 mile from Big Stamp area. The trail, a lot of people go wrong here, so make sure you don't miss your turn. Hate for you to get lost and end up wandering around in the Nantahala River Gorge. This is another place you might go wrong. Turn sharply to the right. I've seen a path, looks like people have been going up that way. Poor souls. Another amazing view. There's all kinds of views up here. I didn't want to do a spoiler alert for you. Of course, if you come in the summertime, despite my dire warnings, you won't see any views. Up here is the Colette Ridge. This is where a really bad wildfire started. I did a video on it. I'll put it in a link in the description below. There's another water source just down below Defeat Knob. I'll show you where that is. Pretty much burnt to a crisp. So just below Defeat Knob here, which is about roughly 3 miles from Big Stamp, there's a creek down there. It's usually flowing a little bit better than this, so seasonal at best. If we had a normal winter and spring, it would be flowing good. Now after you pass through these 3 trees here, just a little ways down the trail is another secret of the Fires Creek Rim Trail. After you go through those trees, you reach this little gap. Kind of opens up here. And right here, if you turn to the right, and go straight down till you reach an old road bed, and take it to the left, it'll take you down to the Forest Service Road, and there's also guaranteed to be water down there. So if you find that you just totally ran out of water, or you're just exhausted, or your knees gave out, or whatever, you need to get down the road. That's the easiest, quickest way, rather than trying to take Sassafras Ridge Trail down. After an arduous climb up and over Sassafras Knob, and then a lengthy trek through some more burnt forest, we come to the Sassafras Trail. You can take that trail down and it comes out at Forest Service 340. It's a really pretty trail. There's water down there too, but it's a fur piece away. So I'm gonna hold out for my favorite spring, Shinbone Ridge. This is a view just before County Corners. I should have waited for this view. It's much better. This is Old Road Gap Trail. It's in decent shape. I worked on it last year. This sign is County Corners. Nice level place to camp. And back in here, actually last year, I hung a hammock. You could pitch a tent there too. But the thing that makes it special to me is the Shinbone Ridge Trail Spring. Let's go check it out. It's not far. I've never seen it go dry, but never say never. Gonna need a scoop for this one. And lo and behold, I'm gonna be here a while. It's so hot today. At least there's a breeze though. I usually don't carry this much water, but I'm going to this time. If this spring is this slow, I'm not sure about the one just below Chunky Gal, whether it's going to be running or not. So better safe than sorry. I'm going to camp somewhere up on Tusquety Bald, I think. And there's a view to the north. A little bit further east is Nantahala Lake. Swallowed up by the wilderness. They say you're supposed to be able to see Klingman's Dome from here. I don't know. Somewhere in that direction. It's probably too hazy to see it. I'm about to show you another hidden secret of the Fires Creek Rim Trail. Just before you get to the Chunky Gal Trail that goes up to Tusquety Bald, there's a campsite straight that way. I got this for my food bag. There's places for hammocks, firing. Nice place for a tent over here. And I think if you beat it through the woods right here, you'll come into Tusquety Bald. This is the Chunky Gal Trail, and it goes straight up and over Tusquety Bald. And down through here is a small spring. I'm gonna go check it out. Don't get lost down in here, it's not marked very well. Well, I'm glad I filled up at this Shinbone Spring. This one's barely trickling. Upon further reflection, I don't recommend going down there until the trail's marked a little bit better. Even I got a little disoriented, and I know where it's at. There's a nice place to camp right up here on the bald, right near the view. Hammock trees or a tent spot. Roughly half a mile from the campsite at Tusquety Bald. There's water down here at Far Bald Springs. It's 0.15 miles down there. And it's a very reliable water source. It's a real creek, so. Also, if you need to bail, you can take this trail down. It's 1.7 miles to the forest road. This is the Pot Rock, just before you get to Pot Rock Bald. They say Native Americans made it to help necessitate their subsistence lifestyle. Pretty cool. just saw a little bird retreat underneath that tree. Oh, wow. Hey, little fella. Hey, little cutie, let me get a good look at you. Got the strangest little head. Come here. Oh! And teeth. Another secret of the rim trail. Don't stick your hand in tree holes. Ow! That's a weird one. Never seen a duck like that. Don't mess with the lion duck. Somewhere around a half a mile after Matlock Bald. Don't keep going straight here. You turn sharply to the left. Right here is Trail 78 and a little spring down there. We'll check it out and see how it's doing. But if you did go straight ahead, there's some places to camp, really nice right there. I'm looking at the camping area, and just before you enter it, this is about the only spot I could see for a hammock. There was one other place further in, but it's a pretty wide stretch. It's about 500 feet down here. FYI, don't try to take this trail down to the road. Never, never, never. It's pretty well abandoned. The trail to the spring seems to be fairly well marked with these little pink flags and ribbons. It's flowing pretty good. This is another one I haven't ever seen go dry. That one below Chunky Gal, it has gone dry before. Don't miss your turn here. Not too far after the campsite at Trail 78. Right after the turn in the trail, we reached Johnson Bald. And there's a plane wreck up here. What's left of it from a 1974 plane crash. It's also flat enough you could camp up here. That is, if it doesn't bother you to camp where someone's died. Might be a little spooky. It appears the sign has a little bit of a problem standing upright. But this is a good trail. It's well maintained, and about the last 3 miles is an old road bed. Oh, goodness. About 5 miles from Tusquety Bald is Cold Spring Gap. And there is a spring here. It's straight down that way. Probably 30 yards maybe. This is another one that's seasonal. I have seen it go dry. After you climb up out of Cold Spring Gap, up here is a nice place to camp. Tent or hammock. You gotta be a squirrel to find Squirrel Springs. I made a leaf water spout. Here's another campsite, about 8.5 miles away from Tusquety Bald. It's right after Squirrel Springs Gap. And incidentally, that's where that spring was. I see 2 trees for a hammock. A nice spot for a couple tents. Product of the windstorm. I think we can get around it right here though. This is the Bristol Cabin Trail. It comes out at the Bristol Fields Horse Camp. The double marks on that tree doesn't mean the rim trail turns. It just means this is where the Olympus Ridge Trail takes off. However, there is a hidden secret up here. Take the Olympus Ridge Trail for just a few yards. And you see this broken down tree. There's a hidden camping area here. Nice flat spot for a tent. And then across across this tree, there's a nice area for a hammock. Right here, I was on a day hike, and I saw a bear down in there, and he was coming towards me. I started to bang my hiking poles together and yell, "Hey, bear." And do you know what he did? He rises up on his hind legs and looks in my direction. So I thought, oh good, he sees me now, so I'll just repeat the process. So I clatter my hiking poles again and yell, "Hey, bear! Hey, bear!" And he drops down on all fours and comes running towards me, to my horror. Like I just called him in for dinner or something. So I grab my pepper spray and I flick the safety off of it as fast as I can. And it hits the side of the can and makes a clinking sound, the safety. And it seemed like he heard that, and then he stopped dead in his tracks, and then he whirled around and ran back into the forest. So there are bears out here. There's a lot of wild hogs, but they won't bother you. I mean, I say that, but a mother hog with babies might bother you. For the most part, they all run away when they see you. Even the bears run away when they see you, except for that time. You never can tell. So make sure you hang your food. Keep it away from the bears. I use an earth sack, but I still hang it too anyway. Because if a bear gets a hold of it, he may not get your food, but your food won't be fit to eat. It'll be all crumbled and crunched up, so. There's a small stream at the end of the trail. Well, almost the end. I guess someone knew I'd be tired at the end of my journey. I hope I have inspired you to dust off the old backpack, hit the trail. If you'd like an even more detailed guide to the trail, check out the Chunky Gal and Fires Creek Rim Trail guidebook. I'll put a picture of it up. It's got a huge amount of detail about the trail. So much detail I found it a little bit overwhelming at times. But with the boots on the ground view that you got with this video and the guidebook, I think it'll give you the confidence you need to tackle this rugged but beautiful, amazing trail. Keep in mind though, that guidebook was written like 15 or 16 years ago, so some of the things in there have changed. But basically the trail's still the same. Oh, and one more secret to backpacking the Fires Creek Rim Trail: give yourself plenty of time. If you think, oh, I can do it in 2 days, easy. Whatever you think you can do it in, add an extra day. 189 million steps and 6 trillion flights of stairs climbed. The Rim Trail is a beast. That way you'll enjoy the trail a whole lot more and you won't feel rushed, and it'll be so much more enjoyable. Okay, I think that's all. I'll see you on the trail.